Hey y'all, Irix Guy here, and within this video I want to explain a common reason why windows indoors, glass indoors often leaks, and how to fix it. So these doors right here, you can see they have windows. They've got window panes, also known as grids. These particular grids are what are referred to as internal grids, meaning that they're inside the glass. So if you clean this glass, it's a flat surface. If you have what's called external grids, they stick out. So if you were cleaning this with your cleaner, you'd hit that and it'd be a bump because it's the grid. But let me tell you this. So these doors, and I'm not going to mention the manufacturer's name. It's one of the top door manufacturers in the world. Also not going to mention the installer's name, but I'm going to share with you why all of my doors, these are just two, I've got two more, and then I've got a single door, why all of my doors were leaking through the glass.
It's just a leak on that old floor. Good enough, but nothing more. It's kind of wild how it pours, each cycle like a gentle storm.
Now, for starters, this right here, this glass part, if you're not familiar with doors, and I was not either until I had to fight with not only the installer, but also the manufacturer of the doors to get the issue resolved, I didn't realize that this piece right here is separate from the door. So this is the actual door. These are what are referred to as inserts. Now, they're covered up here by little plugs, but basically what happens is they screw in these inserts, whether it's internal grid like I have or external grid insert. They screw them in and they tighten them. One of the reasons why your doors may be leaking through the glass is because they're not properly tightened. That may be the reason, but if it's like what happened to me, which I'm going to explain in a lot of detail, that was not the root cause. So, but that could be, depending upon the brand of door you have, it could be as simple as they didn't tighten the inserts enough and water is leaking. So what was happening with all of my doors, these are called French doors. I've got two more there, and then I've got a single door over here. Why were all of mine leaking, and where were they leaking? So what I noticed when it rained really hard, or even a moderate rain for that matter, water would start to collect down here at the bottom of the windows inside the doors. And then that water would start to stream. I'm talking about a very rapid flow of water. It would stream down from here and it would puddle up on my hardwood floor, obviously creating damage to the hardwood over time. Now, my experience with this, and I'm going to talk you through the entire process. So I spent, for these two doors, the other two doors, and the single door, with the doors, the installation, and everything, well over $8,000 US, which some people watching are like, man, this is a discount. There were installers that quoted a lot more. But the end result was that, well, it's fixed now, and I'm going to get to that. But I had these inserts tightened 3 different times. I had the inserts replaced 3 different times, and they continued to leak. So what was the reason for the doors that I have here and the ones off camera? Why were the doors all leaking? And what was the fix? This is something you may not know, and I hope that if this is the root cause of your issue, obviously if you're watching this video, you've probably got doors that are leaking. If it's the same thing that happened to me, which there's a significant probability that it could be based upon these doors, and I won't mention the manufacturer's name, but it's a very popular international door manufacturer. But the fix for mine, unfortunately, was going from, I purchased external grids. Again, they stick out. These are internal grids inside of the glass. apparently, at least for this manufacturer, and I don't want to overgeneralize, but at least for this manufacturer, the grids that have the inserts that were external grids, meaning that they stick out, those were known to be defective, meaning that regardless of how professionally the inserts were installed, regardless of how tight the inserts were tightened, after installation, there was a known defect, and those external grid inserts, external grids on top of the glass, they were known to leak. And I don't mean just a gentle flow of water. I mean a flood of water, even with moderate rain. These, with the internal grids that I have now, they don't leak at all. So I don't know why a manufacturer would acknowledge that, well, we sell a product that leaks. Who wants a door that leaks? The reason I got these doors, these two over there, and a single door there, is that the old doors were 20 plus years old. They were wood, they were bowed out and rotten at the bottom. They needed to be replaced. But why in the world would I buy brand new composite doors and they leak? That's absolutely unacceptable. So the lesson here, a few things. If you've encountered this issue, hopefully what I just illustrated, hopefully you're able to resolve your issue. If you're shopping for new doors, if it's a door that faces the outside, where the rain comes down, I would be highly cautious if I was torn between internal grids or external grids, because depending upon the manufacturer that you choose, if it happens to be the manufacturer that my installer purchased from, unless they fix their problem, you potentially could encounter the same problem too. And this was a nightmare to get fixed. I still haven't painted these doors. It's been over a year, well over a year since the initial installation. That's how long I had to fight this. And the customer's always right. And I took it down to the end and I said, okay, I paid you for external grids. What I have now are internal grids. When I was quoted over a year ago, the price for external grids versus internal grids, the external grids, insignificant amount, few $100 US more expensive. But I said, since I do not have what I purchased, I want a refund for the difference. I want the extra few hundred, however many $100 difference it was. I want to be reimbursed because I bought external grids and I had to go with internal grids to fix the leaking problem. Well, yeah, we had to spend all this time and effort. I don't care how many people you sent out. I don't care how many man hours you had to pay for. I'm the customer and I'm always right. And what I bought were doors with external grids. What I have now are doors with internal grids. I'm thrilled they don't leak, but I value my time, and I told them how many $100 an hour. I said, I've wasted thousands of dollars of my time dealing with your incompetence. I got my money back. Not my money, I got the cost of the difference between external grids and internal grids. But I'm going into all of this depth because if you have this problem, hopefully this is the same problem you're encountering, and hopefully this video helped. If it did, not required, but if you choose to do so, you can click that super thanks button down below this video, the thanks button, and send me a super thanks. Not required, but it's a great way to thank me for for the knowledge that I've just shared based upon my personal experience with doors that leak. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine, but feel free to subscribe and ring that bell. Help my channel to grow at a minimum. And I'd like to hear your story. If you want to share it, comment down below. Are your doors leaking? What was the fix for your leaking doors? Or are they still leaking? But I am still mad to this day. And these doors, these inserts have been replaced for several weeks now. And every time it rains, I get nervous because I'm like, are they going to leak again? Fortunately, I've had about 4 serious rainstorms with blowing wind, super hard wind. I'm here at the Appalachian Ocean, and when it rains hard, it is the devil. So I feel reasonably confident that the door leaking problem is probably resolved now. One other thing you may want to consider, and this was not the root cause of my doors leaking. Again, it was defective external grids that this manufacturer sells. The internal grids are fine. But part of the steps to try to resolve the issue is that originally these doors were what were referred to as in-swing, meaning that they would open inside of the house where you are, the camera, the viewer. But these were switched to outswing doors, which means they open to the outside. That may, if your door leaking issue is not due to the defective external grids that have been installed, that could be a reason why you're seeing water underneath your door. So if you've got doors that face the outside where the elements are, you know, rain and snow and all of that, you may want to consider installing the outswing doors, because they may do a better job, especially with rain and strong wind. They may do a better job of blocking out water. So that's a consideration you may want to make. The obvious disadvantage to outswing doors is that, you know, whenever you open your doors, well, while it's open, the door's outside. Not that that really matters. That's kind of a stupid comment to make, but I'm going to make it anyway. So I'm an extremely dissatisfied customer, because originally I wanted in-swing doors, you know, to go inside the house, and then I wanted the external grids. But at least now I got what I paid for, and that's doors with internal grids. It was a nightmare. But if your doors are leaking, I hope this video helped. Comment below. Thanks for your viewership. Be sure to subscribe, and when you do, ring that bell icon to be notified whenever I post another video. And if you have doors that are leaking, I hope that you can get your issue resolved, because there's nothing worse than water damage. There are few things worse than water damage. It can destroy a residence. It can destroy the floors. It can create all kinds of issues. Mold. Ugh. Y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, Irix Guy here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please be sure to subscribe to my channel, and when you do, ring that bell icon to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.